Hello, everybody. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. It's Ann popping back on behind my apron. I thought it would be fun to pop on here and just share a couple quick ideas with you, whether you're joining my virtual parties this week or you're just a great friend and fan of some of the cooking ideas. I wanted to share a couple Super Bowl things and then the best lasagna hack ever. Yes, you guys, I like lasagna. My family likes lasagna, but it's always kind of been a pain to make it. And recently, my husband came home and had lasagna at a friend's, and he said, "Hey, she said she didn't cook the noodles, and she didn't buy the ready to bake noodles, that special box either." So I reached out to my friend Denise and I said, "Okay, tell me about this lasagna." And so she shared the recipe. So earlier today, I made it. I made a trial size in enough for Jim and I, and with some leftovers in our famous stoneware bar pan. No, not the bar pan, the loaf pan. Because you guys look at this well-loved loaf pan. This is my go-to for our famous beer bread. I use this for all homemade breads, banana breads, but it's also a great lasagna container for just 2 or 3 people. So I did this earlier today, and then my kids wanted me to make lasagna for them to have in their freezer so that they could just take out a lasagna and put it in the oven someday when they're in a big hurry or they don't have time to cook. So I thought, okay, I have a friend I cook for a lot too, so I'm going to make some more of these. And then I decided, wait, I'm going to go live and show you guys this hack because to me, this is a total game changer. We will have lasagna more often now that I know this really works. So, but this is what's left over of the bread loaf pan of Jim's and my lasagna. I put it in the 3.5 cup seal proof glass containers. And if you guys have these, you can put a shout out in the comments. I love these because they don't leak, even if you turn them upside down. And if you take leftovers to work or you like to be able to see what's in the refrigerator, they come in 3 different sizes in a set, okay? So that's where I put the leftover piece of lasagna. So one of us will get to enjoy that later this week. So, but first, you know what? Let's do a lasagna hack. Let's make one for you. So that way you guys will see exactly what you do. And my friend, I have to tell you, I can't give you the recipe. So listen or re-listen to this because she just kind of typed it out and there was no proportions. Okay. So if you don't cook by the seat of your pants, you might not like doing this, but I thought it was fairly easy. So you buy regular lasagna noodles. Okay. Don't cook them, all right? Then I took a couple pounds of hamburger, browned it up, drained off the grease, used the famous mix and chop. And then what you do is you take the same kind of spaghetti sauce that you're going to make the recipe with, and you put about half of the container in your hamburger. So once you've cooked and drained the hamburger, and I did add some garlic and some onions. You can add whatever you want for extra flavoring. But then put about half of the container of spaghetti sauce in there. Then this is the little size of disposable containers I'm using for my kids because they're cooking for one, maybe two if somebody's around and they don't live here. So it's nice to be able to have something I don't have to chase down and get back. So then take your container and then take some more of the sauce you're using and put it in the bottom of the container. So I'll show you. So just kind of tip it so that you have it covering in the bottom of the container. And then I broke the uncooked lasagna noodles so they were the right size. And in this particular one, you just put 2 down, okay? Then I'm going to put some of this meat mixture and spread that out over the noodles. So I'll give you another sneak peek here in a minute. And I did check with my friend Denise, and yes, you can make and freeze this ahead of time and then bake it when they want to. So that I'm the most excited about. So I've spread the hamburger. Then I'm taking small curd cottage cheese, and I'm going to put a couple dollops over top the hamburger. And again, I'll show you. Spread that out. Then take some mozzarella slices and put over the top of that. Looks like I'm going to have one spare. So, oh gosh, you can never have too much cheese. So I'm just going to rip one of these and I'll show you here. Okay, so you have that layer. And then we're going to make another layer. So again, a little bit of sauce. Spread it over, kind of get it, you could use your noodle too, that's what I'll use, to spread it over. So you have that layer of sauce. And then put the 2 noodles on top. And let's just repeat what we did. So put some of the meat on top of those noodles. And you guys, you could use, and I'd be curious about this, for those of you that are watching, when you make lasagna, do you use ground beef? Do you use sausage? Do you use a combination? Or do you make chicken Alfredo lasagna? It'd be really fun to know what is your favorite at your house. Okay, so I have the next meat layer. So I need to do a couple more scoops of cottage cheese. Spread it around a little bit. And then I have 2 big pieces of mozzarella left. So put those on the top. And then if you want, you can put, you know, a little more sauce on the cheese if you want. But here's the hack, the rest of the hack. So I have the Easy Read measuring cup here. Can you see that there's water in there? I'll jiggle it a little bit. So she couldn't really give me the proportions. So this is what I did this morning. You just take about a 1/2 cup of water and you tip it around the outside edge of the pan. Now I'm not going to be able to lift this up anymore, and I used maybe a tablespoon less than a 1/2 cup so it doesn't spill, but I think you guys can see that in there. So you have that water, then you're going to cover it with tin foil and put it at the 375-degree oven that you've already preheated. Cook it at least an hour, probably an hour and 10, hour and 15 would be better. Then take off the tin foil and then cook it some more, like another 10 or 15 minutes till this cheese, you know, gets that fun brownish color. And then take it out of the oven and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before you serve it, because then it sets up. And as you saw from my piece here, it was pretty darn easy to just cut into the squares and serve. So you guys, I can't believe that works, but it worked wonderfully. We just ate it a couple hours ago for brunch. So it was a total time and game changer for my house for lasagna. Now I am more than willing to make it more often. And actually, now that I've let it sit here a minute, the water has kind of gone down and filled up the cracks. I only had about a tablespoon left, so I'm going to just put it on there to make sure that it's there. So that's your easy lasagna hack. Now, a couple other easy Super Bowl ideas I thought I would just share for you. If you had breakfast this morning and you guys happen to cook up sausage for any reason, or you have leftover breakfast sausage, super easy to make a dip with 3 or 4 ingredients. You can use that cooked sausage. You can use, if you have, like, say you have a 1/2 pound left over, use a 1/2 pound of sausage, a 1/2 block of cream cheese, and then a can of Rotel. Heat it up and enjoy it. In fact, I have a little crock pot going over there with exactly that. You could add some Parmesan. You could add some more jalapenos, depending on how spicy you want it. And then I bet there's somebody watching that is going to make the little smokies that you wrap up in crescent rolls and you bake them. I always bake those on a baking stone. You guys, I've told you this 400 times, but if it's baking, I do it on a stone. The results are just superior to metal for me, for any baking result. When you want that beautiful brown crisp crust, but soft inside and moist inside, to me, that's a baking stone item. And by the way, that's a host bonus this month in February. In case you have 2 or 3 friends that want a few Pampered Chef products with you, perfect time. You can get a great special by throwing together a fast party, because that's really all it takes. But the game changer part about those little smokies with the crescent rolls wrapped around them and baked is this seasoning right here from our line, Everything But the Bagel. So before you bake them, sprinkle it with that. It was just such a fun addition, adds so much flavor to it. But I'm curious too, what are you guys making today for the Super Bowl? Or are you not even going to watch the ball game? Are you going to just watch the commercials? Or are you going to go do something totally different? I love football, so I'll be tuning in, but I do try to pay attention to the commercials too because I especially love the Budweiser commercials with the dog and the horses. So let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know if you're cooking today for the Super Bowl or if you're just going to go super easy and grab something out of the freezer and go that route. But hopefully you guys all try the lasagna hack too. To me, it was a total game changer. I'm going to cover this with tinfoil now. Then I'm going to put it in the freezer inside a Ziploc bag with the cooking instructions on the bag to give my kids. They each got one. I made another one too. So hope that helps you guys have a super fun Super Bowl Sunday. And if you're in my virtual parties this week, we will have a lot of fun. See you soon.